Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and I've got Jamal Butterworth, also known as Derek in real life, with me here. Hello, Jamal.
Hey Mark, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. So now this is going to be a little bit different. Normally, when we are in Altis Life, we are role playing and playing the part and everything. But this is a kind of a formal interview to find out more about you as a person, about Derek. And so obviously you're a badass in the game. I mean, look at you. You're all pimped out in your gear and everything. I see you're all ready to take care of yourself, and you got a pretty high bounty on you.
Yep.
And we're actually right near the police station in Kavala.
Yeah,
So
we are. We're looking over it.
yeah, yeah. So and this is Kavala, everybody. This is the castle. So Jamal, tell me a little bit about yourself, the real you.
Oh well, I'm a regular guy. I just graduated from college recently, and I forget exactly how I ran into life mods, but once I found these, I started. I don't know. It's such a different game that I really got addicted to this, and kept playing it. Even before people knew who I was, like I guess I kind of knew a lot of people in the community here, and eventually, lyrics started playing in here. And I figured, why the hell not? I'll try joining him because he seems like he's someone fun to RP with. Like I wasn't a streamer or even considering it at the time. I'm just a player,
Mm-hmm.
and people really, I guess, like what we were doing together. So I figured, if I'm gonna play this game, I might as well just stream it. And man, the last 4 months have just been absolutely insane. It's
So tell
I
me about that. What has the last 4 months consisted of?
Well, I mean, it started out with just doing this as like a hobby, and slowly, like with time, there's more and more people watching. I'm getting tips from other streamers and stuff like that, and kind of developing, I guess, inside jokes in a community and everything. And it's just like every little aspect of a channel. It's been crazy to watch this build up so fast. I don't think uh, it's very accurate for how streaming goes starting out for most people. I think it's just been I lucked out or something because it's honestly been too easy doing this, man. It's just like at this point it basically is a full-time job for me, but it's hard for me to consider this a job just because it's I mean
Because you're
I
having
look
fun.
forward yeah I look forward to doing this every day. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's taken over my life at this point. It's crazy, but I absolutely love it.
So when you say that it's hard to consider it as a job, I mean this is what you're doing for a living now.
Yeah. I graduated with a degree in radio, television, and film production. I live in Dallas. There's not a lot of production work here.
Mm-hmm.
I've uh,
Mm-hmm.
I've done a few things here and there, like a few TV productions and stuff like that, a low budget. But this is this is supporting me much better than anything I could be doing here right now. So I'm going with it.
So from what you're saying, you only started streaming about 4 months ago.
Yeah, I think I'm starting my fifth month now.
Damn! And how many followers do you have on Twitch?
I hit 20K on last week or something like that. I don't remember when.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing for 4 months.
man.
So a lot of people work really hard at trying to be a professional streamer, professional entertainer,
Right.
and they have a very hard time getting it to go on. Getting it up and running,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think it takes a good entertainer to is the key there, and I think you do a good job with entertaining us.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
try. There's a lot of times where I feel like I'm slacking, but my best, I guess, like the best way I prepare for this is to watch other streamers I like Lyric. He's someone that's like consistently entertaining in a bunch of games. I'm not to that point yet. I don't think I can play any game and be that entertaining. This is I just feel really comfortable with. So I'm working on the whole entertainment side of it. I'm not used to it. I'm not like honestly, I'm not like someone who's like the life of the party or anything. I'm pretty dull, usually quiet and stuff like that. But when I get to, I guess it's the character that helps out a lot. When I get into the RP mode, everything
mhm.
becomes a lot easier.
Would you say you're a different person when you're playing your character as opposed to you in real life?
I mean, at this point, it's hard to tell. Uh, even the accent I do is kind of just like barely there at this point, and I mean, all even though I'm playing as a character, it's still me making the decisions for the character. So at the end of the day, it's still, you know, everything I'm doing is on my account. So it's I don't know. It's like that's what I've seen over the last 4 months. I know it's been a short time period, but I feel like the character I RP and myself are almost the same thing at this point. Like there's parts of Jamal that kind of invade my personal life now. Like I say yo way too much like in public. I never used to do that, and it's just like, oh my god, I'm I'm constantly in this character.
Start dropping a few more f bombs in public.
Yeah,
Yeah. What got you? How did you come up with the name Jamal Butterworth the Third?
that's a good question. It basically I used to play under a few different names, but the last one before this was Samuel LL Cool Jackson, and I it's basically like a prototype of Jamal. That's when I ran into Lyric. Lyric just referred to me as Jamal, and it's like whatever, I'll go with it. So I guess it just we kept running into each other. People kept knowing me as Jamal, so it's like fuck, I'm gonna roll with this Jamal character. It's practically the same thing. So that's how Jamal happened. Butterworth the Third. There's no great backstory behind that. I just thought it would sound kind of funny or awkward to see someone with a name like Jamal and then a last name like Butterworth, and top of the third on top of it. It just
It's
seems
like
really.
it's like Jamal is so unsophisticated, but Butterworth is,
Yeah, that's exactly what I
and the
want. It's kind
third
of
makes it even
confusing.
more so. It's of money. Yeah, no, that's pretty sweet. So, what do you? So now you said you're doing this full time. Are you doing like 8, 10 hour days? Are you streaming every day?
I try to, yeah. I say I at least try to do like 4 hours almost every day. I usually at least take off like one day a week, sometimes two. But I have so much fun in here, and like we were talking about earlier, you can't schedule this exactly. It's not a science, so I stay around as long as there's something entertaining, and sometimes that can go to 12 hours, even 14 hours plus in a single day, just because it's just a really good day on Altis.
Yeah. So, are you in your real life? Are you married? Are you in a relationship?
Yeah, I'm in a relationship. I've been with my girlfriend for 5 years now.
Wow.
I live with her. We actually live at her mom's house. We're in the process of finding an apartment right now, but it was basically all riding on me getting a job, and it's like I'm trying to look for work, but this popped up, and it's like I'm gonna do this in the meantime, and it's expanded beyond anything I thought this would come to, and I can't believe that. Yeah, this is pretty much I can completely support myself through streaming now, which still blows my mind. I don't know if I'll ever get over that.
Yeah. Do you think this is a fluke for you, like 5 minutes of fame, or do you think you'd be able to continue riding this on out?
I mean, I honestly don't know. I'm hoping it can branch out. I'm trying to be consistent and think about the future and what, you know, other things I could do with the stream. I don't think I can just be Jamal and in Altis for, the rest of my life. That'll be a short career. So I'm definitely trying to think of ways to, I'm basically looking for other like games and stuff like that to branch out into to expand the channel, because I don't want to be like a one-trick pony. Because I figure
What
that'll
happens
be
when
a
the trick
short,
goes away?
yeah, it'll be a short lifespan. So yeah, I constantly have to think about the future, but I can't tell you. I don't know what the future holds. So I mean, the last 4 months have just been, I couldn't predict anything that happened. So who knows what's going to happen in 4 months down the line.
Yeah. So, I take it you quit looking for a job.
I mean, basically, at this point, yeah, this pretty much occupies all my waking hours. Even when I'm not streaming, I am doing something stream related. So, yeah,
What is?
it's
Was your
taking over.
girlfriend ever like, go out and get a job?
Oh yeah, I mean, even to this point, she's actually really supportive of it. At first, I don't think she was. She's still like, it's a hobby, it's whatever, but you still need to find a job. It's like, yeah, absolutely. But as time as things have snowballed, it's just like, whoa, whatever I would want to go do right now, I wouldn't be making the same kind of money, and I wouldn't want to get up, and I wouldn't like getting up in the morning to go do it. This is something that it's like a dream, man. It's every day. I'm obsessed with this stuff. It's just like I'm totally cool with streaming every day. The main reason I take off at all is because I'm trying to maintain relationships in my real life and not, completely get taken over by Altis.
Would you consider yourself to be like a geek or a nerd in real life? I mean, were you always into video games?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, since I was really young, I've been into computer stuff. My dad had a degree in computer science, so he taught me a lot of stuff early on. I've always been into electronics and like engineering and stuff. My parents are both engineers, so it's always like we've always kind of geeked out on projects like that. So like building a computer and stuff was huge back when I was a kid, and I've always played games.
Yeah, bet your parents never thought you'd grow up to professionally play video games.
Yeah, they're still trying to wrap their minds around it. They're
Yeah.
definitely supportive of it.
What do
but
they?
don't
What do they?
understand it.
Do they watch your show?
No, they don't. Thank God. I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't really care. But yeah, I'm glad like my parents aren't in chat or anything or like commenting on something I did that might have been questionable in game.
Yeah, yeah. My dad showed up when we were one time when we were running drugs, and I'm cussing and everything, and we're shooting people, and he's like, "Oh God, this is so much fun."
I would love to get my dad on here. That's like my ultimate goal. I mean, he wouldn't be able to do much, I bet, but man, just to see his reaction to some of the stuff in this game, he doesn't get it. That's the biggest thing when I talk to anyone about streaming, and particularly this. It's like people aren't watching me for skill. I'm not like a skilled shooter or anything like that, or good at strategy. It's simply the interaction between people, and like the character I do. It's a completely different type of thing, even for streaming. I think people that are used to streaming might not even understand it. It's not like me getting kill streaks in Call of Duty. It's meeting new people, and that's what's I think.
No, you're not like a competition gamer. You're more of
Right.
an entertainer.
Yeah, and that's even harder for people, I think, to understand, because at least the competitive stuff is cut and dry. It's like you're competing against other teams, you can win prizes. And
Oh shit!
yeah,
What happened to you, buddy?
I since I've been playing mods, a few life mods, I've been downloading expansions, and I think it fucks with my game. I know a way to fix this. It's gonna take a second though. I basically have to validate every time I play now, all the files.
Yes. Well, anyway, rip Jamal. Okay. Well, we can keep talking, even though your character has disappeared. So, what is some of the crazy stuff that you have done here in game that you would never do in real life?
Pretty much everything. I mean, that's the whole point of playing it. Like, that's what I don't get. People that are like doing copper runs or something. It's like, I know you got to get money to get by, especially in the beginning, but it's like, man, my priority when playing these games is just immediately to go to the illegal activities as soon as I can afford whatever fees are needed, like processing whatever drug. Because I need that like kind of thrill or rush that you could probably get captured or killed or something like that. Like, I try to take it to the extreme, definitely. Especially since I've been running with the FSA. They do some of the most insane things I've seen in this game. And yeah, I've gotten into some crazy firefights. Just the other day, I think it was 2 days ago, I got captured with like it was a 1.7 mil bounty, and I figured I'd be going to jail for 45 minutes, but the FSA happened to have captured a lieutenant, so
They did a hostage trade.
yeah, it was really botched. It was actually botched twice, so it wasn't. I mean, the best police weren't on at the time. It was a clusterfuck, but it's always really interesting because I know a lot of people see the FSA as just RDMers and stuff like that, but when they really get into it, they're some of the best RPers in the game. And yeah, there's been some really complex situations that have evolved between the cops. I mean, the FSA and other gangs, or the FSA and the cops. It gets really interesting, and I mean, it's more interesting now than this game was for me, months ago. Just because especially with Asylum, I've developed a like a close knit community, a lot of people I can rely on, or a lot of people I remember from some place. So
Mm-hmm.
it really, really adds to it. Like for me, playing, I really only ever want to play on server 2 because that I know almost everyone there. Like there's a lot of great people in there, and playing this game in other servers is fine, but it just doesn't have the same feel to it really as server 2 for me. It's all about community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I tend to stick to my server as well.
Yeah,
So.
it's a huge. I mean, especially I've noticed Asylum more so than other servers. I think that's why everyone's here. There's a lot of great RPers that you can just randomly run into in these servers. It attracts a fairly good crowd in comparison to other life mod servers. Like it's hard for me to play anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about your time as a cop in the game. What is that like?
Well, specifically as a streamer cop, it's terrible. Like at least it's starting out, it was absolutely terrible because you've got this extra level of scrutiny you have to deal with because all the senior cops are like, or a lot of them watch the stream. They'll talk to me in TeamSpeak or something, even though they're not like in game. They're watching the stream, commenting on whatever's going on. So it's like, man, you really have to know what you're doing and not make mistakes. I definitely push the envelope because it's just a game at the end of the day. I'll follow procedures, but I still want to have fun. So there's times when I'm just like talking to people in town or like, just being goofy. That doesn't, the really try hard cops don't really like that, but I guess they let it slide. So eventually it worked out, I guess, where everyone's kind of used to my antics as a cop. I don't like mess up people's day or anything, so I'm not harming anyone. I try to help out but still have fun, and they're really understanding of it. Cadet life is just tough, man. You don't have a say in anything really. And when you're a streamer, you kind of want to have a little bit of control over what's going on. So there, it's just like, man, it can be yeah, it can be hard to work with. But once you hit constable, you kind of can do your own thing. But honestly, I think since then, I've been really enjoying playing constable because it's actually a great way to initiate or run into RP events. Because what I've been doing lately is pulling someone over, and they've got their RP story excuse ready for why they're committing whatever crime. And I just always tell them, it's like, all right, let's go from the top. Tell me your story. Well, how did all this happen? And
Mm-hmm.
it can evolve into these really interesting stories that maybe they weren't even prepared to talk about, but they just happened to evolve. So there's been some days where some of the best RP has been just random people I get to pull over, and that's a lot what I think I miss lately because it's gotten to the point where I'm in a gang and everyone wants to roll together, the same people every day. The thing that really got me into Altis and I think started me out with streaming was the random interactions within the
Mm-hmm.
game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of bringing me back to those roots, the very natural feeling RP. So I've been loving Cop lately as far as RP goes.
Mm-hmm. What was the holy shit moment for you in the game where you realized that this was something that was starting to become very important to you?
Man, I don't know when to exactly call that point. I guess it was when I started playing with Lyric and got such a really positive feedback. I got really positive feedback from it. Yeah, I don't know. It just none of it made sense. It's like why is he letting me roll with him today? Like why do people like what I'm doing? It just didn't make much sense. I mean, I have fun, but I don't think it's the kind of fun I have is worth the attention that I'm getting. So I'm still trying to figure it out, man. It this game just blew up for me. I mean, like 4 months ago, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly why. I guess it's just an untapped kind of thing with streaming. There's not a lot of English speaking Altis Life streamers, and it's definitely a unique game in itself that anyone that kind of stumbles upon it, especially from like a audience standpoint, I think really gets absorbed in it because these are, I mean, what I tell people this is it's improv Breaking Bad every night.
Absolutely. You should
So
see what hat I have on right now. I got my
it's
pork pie hat on.
it's definitely it's something different even for streaming standards. It's something new. And yeah, I think hopefully it leads to a lot more kind of life mod type games or anything like that, RP games like that. I would totally. That's what I'm basically focusing on for the future. It's like what's coming up that could be possibly the next game that would be great to RP in. There's nothing that competes with Altis, but eventually I'm sure there's going to be some stuff out there.
Maybe, hopefully, who knows?
Yeah.
Um, Tell me about your one of the questions that streamers get asked a lot is, what is your PC specs? Do you have some high end machine that you're able to do all this wonderful stuff on, or what do you got under the hood there?
It's well off. Like I used to have a much worse when I started streaming. I had a much worse setup. I had like a 650 Ti and an i5 3570, I believe. And so it got me by, but for someone running everything on one machine, most people have like a streaming PC and a gaming. It was really intensive, and my streams would crash all the time back in the day. But it got to the point where I could afford new parts. That was my first goal with any kind of money I got from streaming, is just to upgrade hardware. So I got a i7 4770K, and now I have a 770. And that, I mean,
That's
you can
my
definitely,
setup.
yeah, it definitely helps you out in here. I know some people that have a better card, like a 780 Ti and stuff like that, but it doesn't make that huge of a difference in this game. This game is so weird with specs, and people that are new trying to get into gaming and stuff like that, and it's like, well, this machine, like, will some Dell, blah, 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 run this? It's like, I can't tell you, honestly, but I'm just going to say no, probably, because this game is, it's hard to
This game
benchmark
requires a beast,
Yeah.
especially if you're streaming off of the same machine.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm amazed I can still do that, and it works fairly well with the i7. I never want to do, honestly. I mean, maybe eventually I'll switch to a streaming PC, but I like how convenient one PC is. It makes it simple, and it works. So
Yeah. So, what other kind of games do you have your eyes on for the future? Are you into survival stuff? Or you want more role play stuff, or?
I mean, I like it all. I do play a lot of survival stuff, but honestly, for the stream, I think role playing is, key. That's why people are showing up. So I mean, I dabble in other games and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's mainly life mods right now. That's why which is really cool, because I think there's a lot of kind of indie developers and stuff, or just regular people that aren't doing this for a living, that are making new mods, like Takistan for Arma 3, and Sarani Life is a new one that's been showing up in my channel. I'm trying to help promote the communities. It's not easy to get a full server, and it costs a lot of money to get these servers set up. So I'm trying to honestly just help other developers get off the ground and going. So possibly, there's new life mods we can play and mix it up a little bit, because, I mean, 8 hours of Altis a day it takes a toll after a while.
It can be done, though. There's plenty of
Yeah.
content in here.
Absolutely.
So, hey, well, that's about all the questions I had for you. Unless there was something else you wanted to bring up that I didn't ask about.
No, I think that covers it.
So, yeah, it's been really good. I'm sorry you died, man, and fell off the wall here, but
Yeah, I know. I'm coming back up the stairs right now.
oh, you are. just as
I can give you a salute over Kabbalah.
well. Now that you're here, I do have one more. Did that helicopter just crash?
Yeah,
Oh my
it
goodness,
did.
it did. It just crashed right into the square. That was probably on purpose. So, what do you do to make money in the game? That is one thing that a lot of people struggle with, is how
That's
do they make money?
Yep, that's a big question. I get that at least 5 times a day. It's like, what's the best way to start out making money? Basically, I try not to get too detailed with it, because I can just go off on rants and stuff. But I basically get enough to buy a backpack and ATV. You should have enough starting out to possibly get those. I don't know how it's set up now, but
Yes.
that's how it used to be. Do some peach runs until you can afford the weed processing license. Then just either go on the ATV or hope maybe keep doing peach runs till you can afford a truck. Take your backpack, your truck, go to the weed field, process, do some weed runs, get used to the game, get used to running from cops, dodging.
Get used to
people that are
dying.
there's gonna be a lot of people. You're gonna be standing there in one shot and you're dead, and like after 30 minutes of work, you got to get used to that. That's totally part of the game, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, that's life mods. I can't count how many times I've spent like an hour preparing something, and it's just foiled by one asshat with a pistol that shoots me in the head randomly somewhere. It's just, you got to just keep going, man. But basically, I tell people to just do drugs. Just do the drug running, because it's fun. You make decent money, and you can support yourself pretty fast. Just doing weed runs, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, Jamal, it's been great. Thank you. Or Derek in real life.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Mark. It's been fun.
Yeah.
I really liked discussing all this. I'd like to do. I'd totally be down for one of those roundtable discussions. When you told me
Okay.
about that, I just instantly started writing down ideas.
Hey,
For,
I'll
possible
make
things
sure I
to
give
talk
you an
about.
invite to the next one, and that's okay to stream. So you can attend while streaming. And so anyway, yeah, it's been really good. And salute right back at you if I can remember how to salute. Gee whiz. I'm so
Backslash.
inept. The game. There we go.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a bunch of random buttons.
Yeah. So thank you, Jamal. And we'll do it again sometime.
All right, take care.
Take care.